recording this video after close trade Tuesday 16th of July 2013. Well, that was more like it. Decent day's trade, range and volume today, unlike Monday, which is like trading in treacle. And apologies, this video is coming out late. We've got Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke testifying tomorrow in front of the House Financial Services Committees, and there's some great articles kind of coming out talking about what's kind of going on. So I've been catching up on those, and as usual, what we're waiting for is kind of the word to come down from on high, what to do. The markets will react, based on the kind of conversation in front of the committee tomorrow, which is an appalling state of affairs. It's not based on what the economy is doing and what earnings are doing or anything like that. It's just what the Fed is doing. But that's the world in which we live. Anyway, so just quickly, just going to look at the 1500 tip bar chart because we had some really nice little setups today, and then I'll show you some charts on the kind of bigger picture. In terms of today's trade, we had a bunch of numbers come out pre-open that caused this kind of wide support resistance kind of range here with a very large number of blue professional bars, kind of unusual for that kind of pre-open. We had CPI, industrial production, and so on kind of pre-open, but then as soon as the market opened, we have a couple of little spikes up. Blue professional bars, we can't get through resistance. We'd put in our exhaustion patterns yesterday, and we just kind of rolled over. And note that the first break here, this shows the strength of the selling with this exhaustion pattern kind of getting down here. Rambo into exhaustion always says a little bit unstable, kind of wait for that, and we've got to bounce for that. But note, no blue professional bars taking profits at the lows here. They were waiting for this retest back up to the breakdown level here. So this kind of break level becomes a resistance level. It bounces off that, kind of kisses this resistance level, those little three blue professional bars, bang. Nice kind of short setup. That was the best kind of entry there. I was short all day. I was short, traded too much, short, long, short. But this one was the sweetest one. That was the best kind of entry. I only needed 2 points at the end here, so I got out after that. But this thing went all the way to pull back to end of trend. You can see, by the time we get to that exhaustion pattern, we're putting in flush patterns, Rambo patterns, amateur down bars, kind of testing that double bottom there, and then we just kind of bounce a little bit into the close from there. So it's nice days trading. The best thing to do when you see kind of patterns like this, look to the lower time frames to get into to trades on the 500 tip bar chart. You can see that testing back into that area. Pre-open you could see all these little spikes, blue professional bars here, couldn't get through it. We come back again into that level 78, 79 type level, can't get through. As soon as we break the lows of that blue professional bar, we're away. And this little pattern, up bars and blue professional bars on 500, it's just like this on the higher time frame. So that's testing back up, can't get in, bang, break to the low side. And then this first little move down was signaled nice pullback to end of trend, and that's all that move was there. So that was nice. So I pulled out a nice 2.5 points in this kind of move on the way down, and then just kept on shorting and shorting. Anyway, so that's day trades. I might tag on one or two of those. Where we're at, tomorrow's going to be key. I think he's speaking at 10 a.m. Eastern, so 9 a.m. Central. And today's activity, what we put in, it was about 1 million contracts traded today, 13 points top to bottom. Yesterday was, as I said, like trading in treacle. It was incredibly low volume, low range. The best thing to do on days like that is just kind of quit and be happy with whatever you can get out of it and just be done. But for me, this is kind of looking interesting. I said I think on the weekend I put up a post where we were talking about the cyclical turning point on the daily chart is in due. It went off today after Monday's. I thought it would happen on Monday, but it didn't. We just had another Rambo up bar, amateur up bar here, no demand patterns, all this stuff kind of going on here. Very weak volume. We've come into that resistance, and for me this is really interesting. Still waiting for confirmation on this. I think that looks like a flush to me. It's kind of dangerous talking into a Fed kind of meeting what's going to go on, but this is pretty interesting. Just shows the lack of demand at those highs. And why wouldn't you take profits before a Fed or a testimony in front of the committee? Just take some profits today and just see what's going to happen tomorrow. In terms of the oscillators, they are primed to go. We've got this whole cluster of sell signals kind of gone off here. We took profits on this nice little long trade, kind of been getting short over the last 3 or 4 days, and this thing's itching to roll over, but let's wait and see. And last thing just to say on the 40,500 tip bar chart, we've still not put in our pullback to end of trend sequence here on the 40,500 tip bar chart. We need that just to kind of finish this thing off nicely. It's extremely weak buying though. That's what this is showing over the last kind of week or so. Just all that amateur up bar stuff, no demand, low volume type stuff at those highs. So that's what I'm thinking about. Tomorrow we'll get kind of a real signal in terms of direction, but all of this is kind of looking pretty interesting to me. Just another little point, I think the gold and silver bugs are getting a little bit excited at the moment because we've had a nice little bounce off these lows, but just a caution on this. It's a fraction too early in terms of gold and silver at the moment, just because we've still got to put in this pullback and a downtrend level on silver, so that cyclical resistance is kind of indue. And what we're seeing here is kind of amateur bars around here. We need to see nice little amateur down bars, a couple of these amateur up bars kind of going in. It's like the amateurs getting involved too early. I still think this has got to play itself out into one final little kind of hook down before we kind of really have some sense that this might kind of go the other way. If we look at gold, same kind of thing, cyclical resistance kind of coming in here, amateur up bars at this point here. I still think that's got to play in, and we've just got to do another little test down. I really like amateur down bars in order to test into that 1200 type level before this thing might start to accelerate on the upside. But certainly with the strength we've had the last couple of weeks, everybody in that kind of gold and silver camps kind of getting excited. And then a similar type thing on bonds. We've had this huge sell-off in bonds. We're having a little bit of a rally back up, but wait, there's going to be a cyclical resistance point, kind of pullback and a downtrend go off at some point over the next few days. So just a couple of things to note there. Anyway, let's wait and see what happens tomorrow. I think it's going to be dangerous trading before he starts to speak, and then as soon as he starts to speak, it's going to be just all over the show. So just be nimble. Hope your trading is going well. Okay, I just got short 77.5, short 77.50. Check my stops and targets. Reason for getting short, this little blue professional bars here, we got left behind with this one up at 79, came back into 79, dropped through the lows of that, and that little sequence ended up being a bit of a reversal on 1500 tip bar chart. Maybe we're waiting for a little bit more confirmation than just a quarter point move below the lows of this one. We've got a Rambo pattern, so the amateurs getting on board too quickly. It's minus 6,000, so quite a lot of selling here. We've got this kind of cyclical resistance in due. And here we go, broken through support here. So I'm with down bars, we're coming into cyclical support here, so it's minus 7,000, decent readings. This is dirty end of trend, 4,500, so that's a pullback there. We violated it overnight, so it's like dirty end of trend up here. Very weak buying. Hopefully this is breaking into a downtrend. We have had a bot signal go off, and just conscious of that. Here we go, just got the break to 75.5. It was just wallowing around 76s there for a bit, and then all of a sudden we've broken, so minus 6,000 on better momentum here. We're in a proper downtrend now on 500, so not seeing blue professional bars coming anywhere yet. Target's at 350, which seems a ways away. Just come out 75 even, just for 2.5. And the reason for coming out, we've got a couple of blue professional bars kind of coming here on 500. We've had nothing yet, 15, that's just gone off to 9,000. Quite a big reading, and we've had no decent retrace. So let's just take a bit out, because it's kind of slow. Wait for the retrace and maybe re-enter. Gone short 75 even again. Let's give this one more go. What are we doing? Support's coming on 1500 tip bar chart. We're through support on 500. We've got support on 45 down here. It just wants to break into a nice little downtrend. We had blue professional bars at the beginning of the day, up at the highs, broke those, came back, retraced almost all the way back up to where we broke down, and we kind of sold off. And then we had a double bottom at 74.5, which just hit, so come on. Let's do this again. Let's get through it properly this time. Keep going. Right, here we go. Got the breakthrough 74.5. sped up a little bit. 3 3/4. Yep. So we're through support. Should print resistance here, but anyway, we got a decent reading on the way down here. It's about 9,000. Bounced off there, so we've got 7,000 here. Target's at 71 even, but well up for the day. So whoa. Alright, minus 10,000. Blue fractional bars coming in here. It's a resistance there. It's got to go pull back to end of trend, so just see where this plays. All of a sudden it's livened up. Yesterday's low is probably pretty important. What is that? 72.25. So it's going to be a place where we might run into some trouble. Big reading here, 15,000. It's going to be exhaustion with the rainbow pattern, so gotta watch out for that because you can get bounces off that. So we're at 73 even, just out 73 even, just for 2. And reason for getting out, we've got a pro signal exit come in. It's rainbow pattern, exhaustion, selling, and then pro signal exit, blue professional bar kind of comes in. So I don't know, it's an interesting day. I've probably over traded 6 trades. Anyway, that's been done for the day.